page 7 of the prayer book. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashramanaye svaha. Om hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Diyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswaha. Diyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswaha. Diyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswaha. Okay, let's turn to let's turn to page 214. Page 214. This is the compilation of very important stanzas, passages from sutras and from the teachings of the Indian masters and teachings of the Tibetan masters. It's a compilation. It's very precious, and many of which were used by His Holiness. Particularly, His Holiness inspires people, and it advises people to memorize some of the stanzas and see that we use them in our practice. So these are what we have compiled here, and along with the many other passages and stanzas, which over the many years, maybe 25 years, we gathered and put them together in the course of my own studies in the monasteries. So there are whatever stanzas and the passages which are very extremely striking. I just gathered all together. So this is the compilation. So it's very precious. It's just about 7 pages, and particularly to leave a special imprint of the wisdom of emptiness. It will be helpful. It will be very beneficial if you can recite these. And of course, the meanings reflected and the experience is invoked. If possible, once in a week during the weekends or any day you like, and if not, like once in a month. So if you read these, knowing the meanings, it's very comprehensive, and that will really help us to implant special seeds of the wisdom of emptiness within your mind. Okay, so let us slowly, for example, say the first one I will share with you, the first stanza, no stanza, the passage. This is where the Buddha Shakyamuni was comparing the two bodhisattvas. One bodhisattva who became bodhisattva since many lives ago. All these many lifetimes being a bodhisattva, and yet unfortunately not having the experience of emptiness. Not having the experience of emptiness. Then on the other hand, there's a fresh bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is somebody who became bodhisattva just very freshly, very recently. A beginning bodhisattva. And yet this person, he or she, has the experience of emptiness. So now Buddha Shakyamuni is comparing between these two beings in terms of their accumulation merit. So the Buddha Shakyamuni is saying that the merit accumulated, one is the same action of the virtue, which is done by both bodhisattvas in terms of accumulation merit. The one who did, the one who newly generated bodhicitta, but with the wisdom of emptiness, then because of the wisdom of emptiness, the same act makes him or her to have the innumerable, the merit that the bodhisattva accumulates is far more excelling than the same act done by the bodhisattva who had been bodhisattva for all many lifetimes, but without wisdom and emptiness. So this is where the Buddha Shakyamuni is indicating the need and the importance of the wisdom of emptiness for us to cultivate. Okay, so let us, and then say for purification of negativities, and if you really have the glimpse of emptiness, some form of experience of emptiness, whenever you think of emptiness, then say goosebumps come in the body, and say the tickling sensation comes in the body, and a touch of fear comes in you, or say the tranquility, a very tranquil peace comes to you, a serenity, a profound serenity comes to you. So when these things happen, then you apply this wisdom meditation. Of course, even if these indications come to you, it doesn't mean that this is the experience of emptiness. Still, it is a very long journey. Long journey doesn't mean that you have to feel demoralized. It's a very interesting and very happy journey, but the more you learn, the more extensively you expose yourself to the teaching on emptiness, and the more you practice it, the more you again expose yourself to the wisdom of emptiness. The tendency is that your experience of emptiness, whatever experiences that you had earlier, it'll keep improving. And then, say the two persons, may say the same word, but somebody as a listener, you could see the difference. The weight is different because of the experience. From what experience the person is saying, the same words they use, but how you feel the effect, the weight there, it depends on how much the person experiences. So it's like, say, going through a very different landscapes all the time of emptiness. So that way, the point is that for the wisdom of emptiness, if you want to have a glimpse of emptiness, then this would be the greatest means by which to purify your negativities, to purify your mental defilements. This is the best, most effective way. And then if you can incorporate this with the Vajrasattva practice, that is even better, far better. And many people they do Vajrasattva practice, but without wisdom and emptiness, they don't have wisdom and emptiness. So keeping aside the wisdom and emptiness, then of course this is one of the most efficient way, Vajrasattva practice, of course. Even the Buddha Vajrasattva here, Buddha Shakyamuni manifested himself in the form of the Vajrasattva, just for the purpose for the people, the beings, to purify the negativities. So of course it's so blessed, but there's the full benefit. You can reap the full benefit if you can incorporate this practice, Vajrasattva practice, the recitation of the 100 mantras of the Vajrasattva, incorporated with the wisdom of emptiness. Then it will have the full the full-fledged benefit, the benefit. Okay, so these are things that we need to keep in mind. And if you can meditate on emptiness on a daily basis, sometimes it can become very mechanical. It doesn't matter. It can become very mechanical. When it becomes very mechanical, it means that it is time for you to engage in more extensive learning. The more extensive learning you engage in, again you go back to meditation. Meditation becomes once more very rigorous and full of valor and zeal. Okay, so and then slowly what can potentially happen is that in terms of experience, I say with this meditation, it is not that the superficial, say the control of the anger, attachment, these things will be under control. No, this will not happen. So superficially, it remains much more the same. From deep inside, you will see the change happening. From deep inside within. So superficially, for example, for attachment, meditation on the impurities and so forth, for aversion, like compassion, for the arrogance and the multiplicity of the reality and so forth, the more thing like this, superficially, all these negative emotions can be quelled very easily, very effectively. With the wisdom of emptiness, because the wisdom of emptiness that we have is so less powerful at the moment, it cannot curb the superficial things from arousing the immediate arousing of these negative thoughts. But with the constant meditation, from deep inside you can feel the effect. From deep inside, where usually small things can otherwise easily irritate you, it does not happen. You can maintain the calmness, you can feel the weight there, calmness there, and stability there. So these effects will be felt over time. Okay, with that in mind, let's recite together 2, 1, 4. And imagine that all sentient beings are joining you. So while you're including all sentient beings here, is to leave imprint to activate your bodhicitta. Because not only wisdom and emptiness, we also need to activate the bodhicitta. These are 2 wings of enlightenment. Okay, let us read them together. Given by the Arya Satpurush Sutra, Precious Child Sutra, Manjushri, whoever listens even with doubt to this teaching on emptiness generates much greater merit than a bodhisattva who, lacking skill in means, practices the 6 professions for 100,000 aeons. This being so, what need is there to say anything about a person who listens to this teaching without doubt? What need is there to say anything about a person who imparts the scripture in writing, memorizes it, and also teaches it thoroughly and extensively to others? Are Tathagata Garbha Nama Sutra, the treasure of the One Das Gone Sutra. Any person who possessing all these 10 great known virtues enters into the teaching of selflessness and has faith and conviction that all phenomena are from the beginning pure of true existence does not go to a bad rebirth. Section Subduing Devil Sutra. If any bhikshu realizes that all phenomena are absolutely pacified of inherent existence, and the beginning of defilements is devoid of self-nature, it will remove the guilt of having defilements and make unstable the defilements, thus deeming even the immeasurable negativity of the dysfunctional, let alone the secondary wrong done associated with ethics and rituals. Aridevas Chatu Sataka Shastra Nama Karika, 400 verses. Okay, this is very important. So what it says here is that, say, some people, when you speak about emptiness, they are not really interested. They are not, so what is this emptiness, right? After all, everything is there. So this is, what people think. So which means that those people who do not feel inclined towards emptiness, this is an indication of the person's lack of the merit. So what it says here is that if somebody talks about emptiness, you feel interested in it. What is emptiness like? And then you start inquiring as to what emptiness is like, what it really means, and so forth. So this inquiry comes, this is a clear indication that you have enough merit to undertake this journey. So should such a doubt come in you, that that's what emptiness is, such a doubt, positive doubt arises, it shatters the samsara into pieces, because the samsara rests on self-grasping ignorance. So when you inquire of emptiness, self-grasping ignorance is shattered. So when the self-grasping ignorance is shattered, samsara is nothing but the manifestation of self-grasping ignorance. The moment self-grasping ignorance creates things that are so objectively real, we believe in it, that is samsara. So when that belief is shattered, samsara is shattered. So therefore, to study emptiness, that you say, dedicate the weekend on this. It's all indication that you have say, inclination towards the wisdom of emptiness. Without this, you will not really come here. So therefore, these are all the indications that you are connected. So now our job is from this, okay, so I have a seed. I have an active seed there. Now this seed must be germinated. And for that matter, you have to give opportunity. You have to give yourself the exposure to this more, reading more, and for example, attending His Holiness the Dalma's teachings more, particularly His Holiness the Dalma. Wherever he gives teachings, he makes sure that he emphasizes so much on emptiness and bodhicitta. This is so precious for us. We are so fortunate from that point of view. All these teachings, I see how to make the most of these teachings. So that is this is the way by which to shatter samsara into pieces. Okay, let's say 215. Adedevas Chatusataka Shastra Nama Karika, 400 verses. Those with less merit will not even have a doubt in this dharma of ultimate reality. Should a doubt ever arise in someone, it will shatter samsara into pieces. Acharya Chandrakirti's Madhyamika Avatara, entry in the middle way. Even as an ordinary being, when hearing about emptiness, if one experiences with an utter joy again and again, tears flowing from such a pure joy, motion in one's eyes, and one's hair stands on end, one is the seed of the wisdom of full awakening. Upari Pariprachana Nama Mahayana Sutra, Upari requested Sutra. The various delightful flowers blossom, and the sparkling supreme golden apple stands so alluring. For none of these is their creator, they are posited by the power of thought. It is through conceptualization that the world is imputed. Bhikkhuni Vajira's utterance in the fundamental Vega Sutra. The mind is demonic, which views the true self. You have a wrong view. These composition aggregates are empty. There is no being in them. Just as one designates a card in dependence upon a collection of parts, so we assert a conventional sentient being and dependence upon aggregates. An extract from Venerable Shavara's writings. Searching for reality throughout space, one finds it not the periphery and the center. All perception cease completely. Likewise, through the thorough search of mind and phenomena, one finds not even an atom of essence. Since the searching mind is not found, not seeing anything is seeing the reality. An extract from Saint Sara's writings. By entering into emptiness, but devoid of compassion. Are you reading the same thing? Are you reading the same thing? Oh, you read with me. Okay. Let us read that together. I thought that yours one is missing. An extract from Saint Sara's writings. By entering into emptiness, but devoid of compassion, one will not find the supreme path. At the same time, by meditating upon compassion alone, one will not attain liberation but remain in samsara. Whosoever is capable of grasping the unity of the two will not remain in samsara, nor abide in personal nirvana. Samadhi Raja Sutra, King of Concentration Sutra. Just as in the dream of a young girl, she met with a boy and saw his death. Joyous was she at the meeting, and in anguish at his death, view all phenomena as thus. Aranyaka-Arjuna's Mudha Madhyamika Karika, fundamental wisdom of the middle way. Through ceasing karma and afflictions, nirvana is achieved. Karma and afflictions arise from distorted conceptions. These arise from elaborations of grasping true existence. Elaboration cease by or into emptiness. Neither aggregates nor different from the aggregates, and the aggregates don't depend on him, nor is he dependent on them. The Tathagata does not possess aggregates, what is the Tathagata? That which dependently originates is posited to be empty of independent existence. That being dependently designated, this is the middle way. Since there is no phenomena that is not dependently originated, therefore there is no phenomena that is not empty. Aranyaka-Arjuna's precious garden, this is what we did this morning, meditation emptiness. If the person is not earth, not water, not fire, not wind, not space, not also consciousness, and not all of them, where is a person out of those? Just as a person is not truly existent because of being an aggregation of the six constituents, so each constituent also is not truly existent as they are aggregations of their own constituents. Aranyaka-Arjuna's Bodhicitta Vivarana, commentary on Bodhicitta. Those who understand this emptiness of all phenomena, yet also conform to the law of karma and its results, that is more amazing than amazing, that is more wondrous than wondrous. Aridevas Chatusataka Shastra Nama Karika, 400 verses. When dependent arising is seen, ignorance does not occur. Thus, through all efforts, try to find this subject. Okay, now this one is from the 7th Dalai Lama's teaching, which is actually the full form is in this book. Full form is in this book. I just took one stanza here. The full form is very, very blessed, extremely profound, and so I just extract one. So what it says here is that once you have a glimpse of what emptiness is, that nothing's really from nothing really exists from the object side, then what is all these things? They're all just mere like appearance, perception coming to our mind. Once you get some understanding of this, then try to maintain the awareness, try to maintain the recollection, the awareness, mindfulness, that, okay, say that you are like imagine that you are at the crossroad, 6 roads crossing. At the crossroad, you sit there, you're bound to see all different kinds of people, different kinds of the cars, and so forth. So likewise, so actually we are at the crossroad. We are at the crossroad of the 6 intersection of the 6 roads. The road of the eyes, road of the ears, we hear all different things, and the road of the tongue, road of the nose, road of the body, road of the mind. All these phenomena that exist in the universe, we interact with these 6 senses. So it's not like we're sitting at a crossroad. So when you sit in a crossroad, whatever you encounter with, be mindful that they're all empty of objective existence. Of course, it's not easy. Right? But once you get a glimpse of what emptiness is, then be mindful that they're all like illusion, they're all empty of objective existence, they're all coming from like a mirage, like illusion, like a magical show. So knowing that they are like a magical show, don't believe them to be objectively real. Although they appear as objectively real, don't believe them to be objectively real. They're like a magical show. So this is how we try to maintain, build, strengthen our imprintance of the wisdom of emptiness. And the illusion, the wisdom of emptiness is understood in 2 ways, or described in 2 ways. The space like emptiness and the illusion like emptiness. Space like emptiness refers to the experience of emptiness when you're in a meditative state. Illusion like emptiness, when you come out of the meditation, then you see everything like an illusion. That is known as the illusionary experience. Okay, we'll read this together. Guiding the view, the 4 mindfulnesses, His Holiness Geshe the 7th Dalai Lama. At the crossroads of the 6 connections of consciousness that have diverse perceptions are seen the hazy dualistic phenomena which have basis. There is a magical show that is by nature deceptive. Don't believe it to be true, but view it as having the nature of emptiness. Don't let your mind go astray, but place it in the nature of appearance and emptiness. Through not losing mindfulness, hold it in the nature of appearance and emptiness. Okay, the next one is His Holiness 14th Dalai Lama. This is very precious. There are 2 stanzas. Of course, the full form, I don't think it's here in this text. Full form is not here. I've extracted only 2 stanzas. His Holiness is composed by His Holiness 14th Dalai Lama, pertaining to the proliferation of the Buddha Dharma, of all the 4 traditions, Nyingma, Sakya, Kaikyu, Gedo, all the traditions. So from there, what I noticed was that the one with Kaikyu, the section of the Kaikyu, that is exceptionally, for me, very beneficial. So I took it out from the Kaikyu tradition part, which is very powerful here. So there are 2 stanzas. The first stanza is to invoke the blessings of all these great enlightened teachers who have actually practiced these things and experienced, and the blessings which are being passed on to us. So this is the first stanza. Second stanza is the actual meaning about emptiness. So in fact, this is the content matter of the Mahamudra. Say the first, you see that like a dream. Your mind, you fall asleep, and then this mind slowly manifests in the form of the different details of the dream. That the dream is occurred. So this dream is nothing. However, millions and trillions of details, elaborations of the details that you see in the dream, they're all coming from your mind, guaranteed. Which means that this mind is the source of all these phenomena in the dream. Likewise, what we are seeing now, they're like another dream, which we can call it as unconventional dream. So from the conventional dream, we wake up every day. But from the unconventional dream, we never woke up. We never woke up. Since time immemorial, we've been dreamed, we've been sucked up in the unconventional dream. We never woke up from this. So this dream, just as the conventional dream is created by your mind, even this unconventional dream is also created by my mind. So we see that the mind is the source of all these phenomena that you interact in this unconventional dream. One. So from this we see that all what we're seeing, they are nothing but the play of your own mind, radiance of your own mind. Your mind manifests in the form of these different kinds. Your dreaming mind manifests in the form of the dreams, different contents of the dream. One. Then you see, from this we see that everything dissolves into the mind. Now, what is it about this mind? If this mind is also like a dream, if this mind, by seeing the emptiness nature of the mind, by meditating the emptiness nature of the mind, of course we do not get the time to meditate the emptiness nature of the mind, but we have to learn how to meditate the emptiness of the mind, which is so precious, which is so important. So in fact, at one point it says that meditating on the emptiness of the flower, emptiness of the cell, emptiness of the mind, meditating emptiness of the mind is the most powerful one. This is what is said. So therefore, then what you're left with is just everything is dissolved in the mind. And what is left? The mind is left. What is this mind? The mind exists objectively, or this is also like a dream. Of course, it's also like a dream. How do we know this? To say it is like a dream is easy, but how it is like a dream, that is difficult. So how is it like a dream? So for that we have to follow the steps to get to this understanding that even this is like a dream. It's just subject coming from the object, is nothing, there's a mind. Okay, so then what is left? Now everything dissolves in the mind, and mind dissolves in emptiness. So what is left? Now just a vast expanse of the emptiness is left. So this is known as the Dharmakaya. This is who you are. This is who you are. From this then you manifest in the form of, say, if you're able to gain the confidence to remain in this experience for eternity, that is when you become the Buddha. At that point, so this Dharmakaya can manifest in the form of the Buddha's mind. And the Buddha's mind manifests in the form of the emanations, such as the Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, and so forth. So this is how you become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. And then, say the moon. So where there are, however innumerable pawns, water bodies they are, the moon reflection will be there. It's not necessary that, okay, now I'm tired and I will show the moon reflection only on the 10 pawns or 100 pawns and not on others, I'll do tomorrow. No. So however many innumerable pawns are there, water bodies are there, from the moon, there's no difference. It will just instantly cast the reflection there. Likewise, you become Buddha at that point, then your manifestations, innumerable, instantly, at a single instant of time moment, you can manifest yourself innumerable times to benefit sentient beings. Okay, so this is the understanding of the Mahamudra. Okay, let's read this. An extract from Prayer for Proliferating the Dharma of the Land of Snows, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, Venerable Marapala Zawa, Geshe, Dorji, and so on, the host of Kagyu, precious Kagyu, the source of blessings, the Chenvanaks of the masters of this outstanding tradition. To you all I pray, may the Buddha Dharma of the Land of Snows blaze forevermore. All phenomena encompassing samsara and nirvana are but the radiance of the spontaneous awareness. This awareness is self-devoid of elaborations, is realized in the nature of Dharmakaya. Pervading all existences and appearances of samsara and nirvana is but the great Mahamudra. May the Buddha Dharma of the Land of Snows blaze forevermore. Dharmadhatu Stava in praise of Dharmadhatu by Aranigarjuna. Impermanent, suffering, and empty, these three, they purify the mind. The mind, the Dharma that is unsurpassed in purifying the mind is the lack of intrinsic nature. The concluding prayer of Lama Tsongkhapa's commentary on Aranigarjuna's fundamentalism, the middle way. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings on dependent origination in particular, even in the course of my life. Okay, the next session, translation of the section of Shri Heruka. So this is the extremely blessed. And so Shri Heruka is again one of the Buddhas. In fact, Buddha Shakyamuni himself manifested in the form of Shri Heruka. Shri Heruka, who is the manifestation of